Hey guys, what's going on? Third Street Reactions here. I'm Shane, and I'm back with Dragon Ball Super Hero. Okay guys, if you've been following this channel for a while, or if you know me from my Blind Wave days, I love Dragon Ball Z. I'm obsessed with it. I grew up with it. Me, Eric, and Zach. That's kind of what started that, and Legend of Zelda started their friendship. And it's one of the reasons Zach and I also continue to grow as friends, probably when we were like 11, 12, 13, 14 years old. And I'm 35 now, which is so weird to say. And I just think it's a timeless show. And I did react to Dragon Ball Super on the old channel, and I'm pretty sure I reacted to the Broly movie with Eric. It being one of the last things I reacted to with him in terms of Dragon Ball Super. And I was very closed off to the idea of Dragon Ball Abridged at first, or Dragon Ball Z Abridged, but I ended up liking that as well. So, if this story takes place after the Broly movie, go to Blind Wave and check out my reaction with Eric to Dragon Ball Super. Yeah, it was really good. It trumped the original movie, although it didn't have Trunks in it screaming Super Saiyan with his jacket ripping off, with his crop jacket from Capsule Corp ripping off. Love Dragon Ball Super, and I know this is like a Gohan story. I heard there is a liberal use of CGI, for which, when it comes to Dragon Ball, I guess I prefer them hand-drawn. I don't know how My Hero does it. I think they're hand-drawn, or there's at least a filter on it where I can't tell it's CG. But My Hero has some of just the best damn animation ever. Just so you guys know, the reaction for this is going to be on our Patreon. It's going to be free for everyone. You don't have to be a member to watch it. But if you want to, you can watch the full-length uncut reaction. That is available for Patreon members.
Either way, whatever you decide, we appreciate it.
Go check out the reaction at our Patreon, and then come back here, and I will give you my breakdown. I'm really excited. Been starving for some Dragon Ball content, and I just appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Let's jump in.
Oh, that was sweet. Guys, that was my reaction, and I love this movie. It's one of the best Dragon Ball movies. You know, the old ones, I loved them for what they were, like the Tree of Might, the cooler one, and there was the one with Lord Slug that I love quite a bit. I mean, because I also love Disturbed, and I love all the contemporary rock music. And I like the original Broly movie a lot, but I mean, the Frieza movie, the new Broly movie were unbelievable. And I thought this had enough comedy and whimsy to make it just, and like there was actually a really good story, and there was like a 3 or 4 minute conversation in the car. I'm like, Dragon Ball doesn't usually slow down enough to do that. I know we have these like epic conversations on planets that are about ready to blow up, but they don't feel, they're so epic, and they're so life and death, and that felt like someone had to write some dialogue, and it felt unique within Dragon Ball. I love the movie. And let me say this, it was really hard for me to get past the overuse of CGI, especially Piccolo, I think, looked the worst. And it was really hard to get past. And if I didn't love the characters and the story, if I didn't think they did such a good job, and they gave me like a new Piccolo form, they gave me some, he has silver hair. Isn't it like Ultra Instinct or something? No, Ultra Instinct is like, their eyes are silver, right? I don't know. It was a kind of a new looking form. And, I need to brush up on my Dragon Ball. But I thought it was awesome. It was cool to reincorporate stuff from Dragon Ball. Like, for one thing, the Red Ribbon Army. Kind of iconic, like the robots and the art from back then. Every once in a while, like when I would see like a still shot or something from kind of far away, I would go, wow, that looks beautiful. But then you see the CG and I'm like, ugh. It just, I'm all for CG for a lot of things. I don't really want it in my Dragon Ball. Like, I understand sometimes, like the Broly movie, they used it for the fight during the really intense moments. I wasn't a fan of it. And I love that movie. It was also cool to call back to the Cell Saga so much. And I thought Hercule was just used to replace Mr. Satan for American audiences, but I'm pretty sure they said Hercule Satan. I mean, to me, he's Hercule. Because I grew up on Dragon Ball Z, the Funimation dub, with the Bruce Falconer music. I think the Bruce Falconer music is the best Dragon Ball Z music to me. And it's just what I grew up with. To me, he's Hercule, and he looks like a Hercule. And it's just I don't know. Like Mr. Satan, it doesn't vibe with me. But he's Hercule Satan, and that makes sense. I love to see Piccolo's house and his little throne room. I thought it was cool seeing Videl. I thought it was pretty crazy. Gohan and Videl, they both were pretty absent parents. And also, it seems like Gohan is taking after his dad, except his dad was obsessed with fighting. He's obsessed with his research. And Piccolo recognized that, and Piccolo being, I think, conscientious and aware, and maybe he knows Goku real well, obviously.
He's like, hey, what's wrong with you? Don't you have a kid? Why am I doing this?
I thought that was really cool. And I just love him wearing Piccolo's armor, because Piccolo was kind of his first real big influential teacher. I love the plushy stuff. I thought that was hilarious. Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. One thing that this show has done, and I didn't think they'd be able to do, between 11 and like 16 at those prime years, like Dragon Ball Z was like my thing. And I didn't really need any new characters. I wanted more of like Tien, and I wanted more of Yamcha and Chaozu. I thought they were getting shafted. I didn't like how Chaozu didn't participate in the tournament. Dude, I loved the new characters in Super. I liked Jiren and everyone. Like, they made me care, and it helped watching it with Eric, and we're both huge Dragon Ball fans. So, Eric, if you're watching, what's up, dog? I really like Gamma 1, Gamma 2. I really like Dr. Hedo, and I just think I like him more because he's connected to Gero, and he's connected to those legacy characters. I thought Shilai. I've been out of Dragon Ball since I watched it with Eric, but I don't really get the inside joke with Beerus having a certain type. Is he just like green-skinned chicks? I don't know, but I forgot how much I love Whis and Beerus as well. I just loved it. It was cool seeing Yajirobe, cool seeing Korin. It was cool seeing, I don't think they said his name, but Dende. And the idea, I forgot about the idea that you can change the dragon. Like, I thought it was a sculpture. I thought you had to make adjustments to the sculpture. I could be wrong. But he just poured kind of water on the outside of it. I could have had a little more there. I thought it was funny with like the wishes with Bulma. I think Frieza's wish as well, wanting to be taller. It's a Japanese movie, so it's sometimes I forget how absurd and how sexual it can be, and how it's not like a big taboo thing over there. Over here, like, dude, we're so, as a culture, it's like they want us to be okay with sex, right? But when things are sexualized, we're not supposed to be okay with liking it. And I just think that's really just dumb. I don't like watching stuff with fan service for the sake of fan service. I think it's a little ridiculous. And I don't know if I felt that there. I thought it was consistent with the character. I didn't need like the big butt shot, I'm an ass guy myself, but I didn't really need that. I don't know. It was just weird to me. It went on too long. But, like, I'm not really complaining. I love the movie. I love Gohan. I love the fights. I love the epicness. I love how Piccolo and Toriyama, he forgets things. Like, he forgot, I like how he forgot Launch. And just like he must have forgotten that Piccolo can get big. Well, we got to see Piccolo do it again there. I thought it was funny. It's weird that he's orange, but, whatever. We've had all kinds of forms. I've been waiting for Piccolo to have some kind of a new transformation. And one of my favorite moments was when Gohan did the special beam cannon, just like Goku and Piccolo did all those years ago to save Gohan. I thought it was awesome. It was cool seeing Cell as well, seeing Super Max Cell or whatever his name is. I loved it. And are we going to have a series version of this, just like we had the Frieza saga? Are we going to have a series version of this movie? Because I think as a series, they would need to fluff it up a little bit, because there's a lot of not fighting in it. There's a lot of kind of dialogue, and I don't know if traditional Z fans would appreciate that. In movie form, I loved it. I'm always down to see more Dragon Ball Super. I can't wait until like we start getting more adaptations from the anime, or maybe adaptations from this movie, like the Broly movie. We haven't had an adaptation of that, so I'm looking forward to that stuff, guys. Love Dragon Ball, and this really brought me back to my childhood. It brought me back to watching Super with Eric, and obviously a bridge with those guys. And maybe I'll have to take Zach through a bridge and put it on our Patreon, because I can't really put those reactions on YouTube, because we can get that copyright strike, and that's really rough. Anyways, guys, I think I'm out of here. If you want to support us, like I said, you can go to Patreon, or you just leave a comment down below. Check out our merch, and we're out of here.